What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today is a big day for Helen. Today I'm getting her service. It's her 1,000 mile service. About a week ago I hit 1,000 miles on her, and I was going to go to the Harley dealer on Saturday, this past Saturday, but by the time I got there I would have been 10th in line. So I decided I'll just come on my day off, and here we are. I'm traveling to Bergen Harley. That's where I get all my service done. But for me, I feel like this bike is just perfect, and you know, of course I had to add some things to it to make it my own, and but really no issues with the motor. I know they're probably going to change oil, check all filters, all that fun stuff, but also I wanted to get them to check on the underside. I feel like something's rattling, or one of the foot pegs here or floorboards is hitting the heat shield, and it doesn't hit all the time. It hits once in a while with the when we're at a standstill, and I just hear a clanging sound. Yeah, the place opens up at 10 o'clock, it says on the website. Hopefully they're not too busy. I do live close to the place, so all I'm going to do is just drop it off, tell them to call me once they are done with it. You know, and yeah, hopefully she's doing okay, and hopefully there's nothing wrong. I know in these times a lot of places are hurting for business, especially Harley. You know, so I'll go to them. You know, there's really nothing wrong with going to a Harley dealer or any dealer that you bought your car from. Yeah, this seems like they'll rip you off and it's too expensive. The guy down the road, he could do it for cheaper. I understand, you know, give them business too, don't get me wrong, but you know, my dad always told me, you know, he worked for Mercedes for a very, very long time, and every year they get certified on certain things that are coming out, just like almost how I have to do as a IR tech. I have to do continuing education credits. You know, all the new things that are coming out, we have to learn. And the same thing with these dealers now. You know, they do have to go through a process of, you know, making sure that their techs are certified, making sure they're getting all the things they need to learn, and there's nothing wrong with going to them. You know, Harley's labor is probably $120 an hour, and then, you know, you add parts to it. Parts of Harley they're not cheap, I can tell you that much, you know. So, you know, you got to pick and choose your battles, where you want to bring it, who you want to see. You know, I mean, when it comes to engine electrical, I feel like I have more faith in a Harley dealer than the guy down the shop, down the road. But, you know, I've heard horror stories too with the Harley dealers saying their mechanics don't know anything and their quality isn't great. You know, sometimes I do feel the Harley dealers, they treat you like a mill. You know, they want to get you in and out, get your money, next bike, get in and out, get your money, next bike. But the guy down the road who owns his own shop will take his time, will sometimes really go over the bike for you. And like I said, you have to really have to pick what you like about either or. I mean, if you have a rapport with an outside shop, hey, there's nothing wrong, go to him. I'm pretty sure he knows a lot of what Harley's doing, and you know. And then sometimes, you know, if it's something really big, sometimes you want to go to the dealer, you know. Maybe they could get the parts faster, maybe you have to spend an extra little more coin to do it. But sometimes you just have to go with what you're really comfortable with. You know, my father worked for Mercedes for a very long time, and you know, their service is ridiculous. Their service price is crazy, but you are paying for a premium car, so they're going to charge you premium prices. Same thing with Harley, you know. So, and sometimes, you know, and like my dad told me, like I'm telling you guys now, sometimes it's good to go to the dealer, sometimes it's not. You know, it depends on what you're doing with your car or what you're doing with your bike. I feel like something like changing these handlebars that I want to do, I got a surprise on that, but that'll be coming up in future videos. Something like that, maybe changing out handlebars, you could probably find someone who'll do it cheaper than the actual dealer, you know. I remember calling them like about a month back and asking them, hey, I want to do this bar, these grips, these mirrors, how much was the parts and labor, and they came back with me, even with my discount, being an MVP member here at Bergen Harley, they came back with almost $2,100. That's a lot of money to spend on changing handlebars. So, you know, I mean, I was like, all right, I do appreciate that you gave me a good price and a price for it, but I want to look around. Maybe someone will do it for cheaper, or do a setup where I really like and they'll do it for cheaper. So yeah, I mean, but would I go to, for me at preference, would I go to someone, yeah, that deals with Harleys, but you know, really doesn't know the M8 motor? Maybe he knows better of the twin cam. You know, sometimes they say, yeah, motor's motor, you can figure it out. But you know, like I said, these Harley techs, they do have to keep the certifications going every year, so I'm pretty sure they have a vigorous testing of what they need to know, what they need to learn of each bike. So that's why sometimes I like to bring it to them. It's not end all be all, you know. So yeah, so we're taking her for the 1K service. I've been pretty excited. You know, I put since February I got this bike, I put 1,200 miles. Right now it says 1,261 miles, you know, for a motorcycle. And during this whole pandemic thing, yeah, I got to ride a little bit. The roads are really nice and no one's on them, but you know, you got to stay home a little bit. You know, I worked a lot. You know, I do work in a hospital, so you do have to abide by the rules and flatten the curve and all that, you know. But I know all these other businesses, they're hurting. They want to get back to business, you know. So I don't blame them. I can't say, you know, I always said it, you know, the pandemic here in the tri-state area was handled well, and I think it was something that you know, if it happened again, I think we're prepared. But I don't think it was handled very well in the Midwest, or you know, or in the South. You know, some places didn't even get hit, and that hard, and you're putting hard restrictions on them. Well, you know, I can't say. You know, what happens if we didn't put restrictions on them? What would have happened? You know, well, you know, so maybe they would have been worse than us. Who knows? But that's a risk that people are willing to take. I mean, but like I said, if that's their livelihood, I don't blame them. You know, I really don't. Also, I think there's a new update for the GTS boom system. Maybe they'll do that for me. Hopefully they'll do that for me. Hopefully I don't have to do it myself. Come on now. You know. So we are, Bergen Harley, pulling up. Hopefully there's not a lot of people, but hey, who knows? If there isn't, it doesn't matter to me anyway, because I'm actually just gonna drop it off and I'll pick it up later, because I do live in Hackensack here. So here we are. Alright guys, I just left the dealer and I did my service. I dropped it off this morning at 11 o'clock and they just finished. They're very busy. They're backed up. I did not have an appointment, which they were about to send me away, but you know, I said if she could do anything for me, you know, I'm here. And yeah, so they took the bike in and they performed the 1,000-mile service. My next one is 2,500. It's just an oil change, which is good. So maybe I'll just do that on a Saturday. So on my previous bike, I got for my 16 Heritage Softail, I forgot I got the maintenance package, and they were nice enough to just transfer it over, because I only put 6,000 miles on that other bike, and I only went for service 3 times. So you know, I had some time left over, and so that's pretty good. I didn't have to pay anything out of pocket today. They did say I was missing a bolt on the exhaust, and well, you know, they're the ones that put on the exhaust. So it goes back to what I was saying before. Do you really trust the guys at Harley? I still do. I mean, it's a bolt. It was just the bolt for the heat shield, so it's really nothing. So that's what was the clanging noise. So that's what they replaced, and that's what we did. You know, I do keep this bike at my parents' house. I do live in an apartment. I have no garage, and you know, I'm lucky enough that I don't have to park this on the street and leave it on the street. You know, I commute to work, to the city. I commute to, let me be clear about that for all those people that don't live around the tri-state area. We call New York City the city. And so I do commute. I do take the bus and the train. So, You know, I would feel terrible if I had to leave this beauty outside, but if I had to, I had to. You know, that's what they're made for, you know. I mean, by now I have a fun little video with my buddy Jose up on the channel. We did a ride, but it was only around town on our e-bikes. I got a Super 73 S1 and he has a Rad Runner. You know, they're very comparable, so check that video out. I want to do a ride up in the Catskill Mountains. I found a pretty cool site where it showed me like 3 routes in the whole up in the Catskill Mountains, so that would look pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Should do some investigating on that. Also, if you want to check it out and see how I make these videos, I did do a video on my MotoVlog setup for this year. So if you like today's video, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to see more videos when I'm uploading them. And till next time, ride safe. See ya.